Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how we built this 10x14 shed. At the end I'll explain the costs, material, and labor. First we're going to start off with the floor. We used 2x6s pressure treated, and then we squared it and leveled it on 4-inch blocks. It's very important to square it because if you don't square it, it will affect your roof later on. The plywood that we're putting on the floor is called OSB subfloor. Now we're going to move on to the walls. For the walls, we cut the studs to 7, 3, 3/4 because that plus the bottom plate and the two top plates gives it a measurement where we can leave the siding sticking down on the bottom plate 1.5 and above the top plate 2 inches for the rafters. The siding that we're putting on is called smart siding. I really like the siding because it has lines that measure 8 inches apart, so that when you put your studs 16 inches centered apart, it like the lines come out with the studs, so you know exactly where to nail them. This shed had a single door and a double door. For our double doors we give them 6 feet, and then for our single doors we give them 4 feet. It also had a 3x3 window that they wanted to install an AC unit at. There's people that ask us, are these livable in? And yes, of course they are. All you have to do is just put a house door, a few windows, then you can just insulate the inside, add plumbing, add electricity, add sheetrock, and you got yourself a little man cave, you know? If you guys are interested in a shed, the way it works is that you message me, I'll give you a quote. If you like the quote, we'll set a date to start building. On that day, I can either pay for the material and I'll give you a receipt, or you can come pay for it at the Home Depot. Like, I'll call you 20 minutes before we're ready to pay, and you just pay and that's it, and then we'll take it to where you want the shed built. Okay, so anyways, now we're continuing with the walls. For us, it's way better to make the walls on the floor and then pick them up because we can paint them on the ground. Also because when we put on the siding, we make sure that everything is squared, and so it comes out very straight. The rafters that we put on, we make them so it's just two 2x4s nailed together with 2 pieces of plywood. This shed was 14 feet long, so it took 8 rafters in total. The customer also wanted a wall in the middle to make it into 2 parts, one for storage and then one to live in. Again, the studs, I'm putting them 16 inches centered apart. Okay, so now I'm done with the inside. We already put the plywood on, and I'm making the doors. The doors are very simple to make. One door has to be framed a little bit bigger than the other, so I framed one door 36 inches and the other one 34 inches so that the door can overlap. On the single door, it's different. In total, it has to measure 45 inches framed because the opening measures 46.5, so that leaves about 3/4 on each side. And then the siding measures 48 inches, so that overlaps onto the 2x4 when you put it on. I'll be going more into depth on the double doors and single door in my next video. So right now, all we're doing is just screwing on the doors and then focus on the little details. One last thing we're going to do is add a ramp. It took 6 2x6x12s. On one of the 12s, you're going to cut into 3 pieces, 3 4-foot pieces, and then on the rest of them, you're going to cut them in half into 6-foot pieces. Then you measure below your door 2 inches, and you nail one of the 2x6s to it, centered, which measures 6 feet, and then from there you use the 4-foot pieces to cut out angles so that it measures perfectly angled with the grass, and then you just add your 6s. And this is the finished product. The material was $2,950, and for the labor we charged $1,500. If you guys are interested in a shed, message me. I hope this video helped y'all guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.